Good morning and welcome to the Lee Michaels Show with Carol and the cast of characters. We are live from Los Angeles. Thank you for joining us today. Hope all is well with you. We had a crazy weekend. Over the weekend, we had a lot of bad weather on the East Coast. Bad weather. It was like a hurricane in the wintertime. It was like cold, rainy, snowy, windy, Category 1 type winds. It was crazy back there. New York, Philadelphia, all up and down the East Coast there. Caught hell. But we had sunshine and blue skies most of the time. We did have some rain as well, but nothing like that cold weather on the East Coast. So I hope all is well with all of our listeners out there on the East Coast, and you're doing fine now. Hey, Carol, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
You're good? You're good? You're really good? You're sure you're good?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah, well, that's good. How was your weekend?
I'm trying to remember what I did.
It's a blur.
I worked.
You worked? Okay. Well, that's good. That's a good thing. It's better than sitting at home doing nothing. Make a little money. And...
Oh, I never sit and do nothing. I got to sit and do my taxes, so.
Oh. Well, when you're done with yours, can you do mine?
I can help separate them and add them up for you.
I hate that shit. I hate it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Yeah, it's a drag. But, with all the new software and stuff out nowadays,
I don't do my own. I send them to an accountant.
Well, what do you got to do? Just give them all the paperwork.
Yeah, but it's all ready to go.
Yeah. Well, you don't have much to do.
I have a business.
Yeah, but
so
I'm saying
I have to go to a real accountant. I'm not like some of my friends.
So you don't really have to do it.
Well, I do the separating the papers for them.
Okay.
I do all that. I add it up, what expenses and that.
Mm-hmm. You don't just give them your
no,
bank
I don't give anybody
printout.
a big box of papers.
No. I'm your bank statement printout.
How's the bank statement going to tell me what my business is?
Well, he can look at it and see what's a deductible.
I don't do everything that way. I have to have receipts.
Okay.
You don't have to show receipts. You're going to have to with that business you have now.
Sometimes you do. But if I do
with
everything...
With a real business, you have to show receipts.
If they request them.
No.
But you don't have to send those receipts in.
I've done my taxes for over 30 years with the business. Even when Sky, I was her business manager.
But Carol, what I'm saying is this.
We had receipts. You couldn't just go by a bank statement.
Okay. All right.
My brother's a CPA, and
I understand
my sister's
all that.
an accountant.
But I've used CPAs as well. And,
you are a CPA?
I didn't say that. I said I've used CPAs, and they ask for my bank statements.
Oh, they get my bank statements, but they also need my receipts.
The only time they wanted a receipt is if I paid cash for it.
No,
otherwise it's on my bank statement.
You have to show receipts when you have my kind of business. I have a real business.
Well, so have I. But that has nothing to do with it.
Yes, you do have to.
Okay,
I got audited once because of somebody that said what you said.
And then you need your receipts.
No.
You didn't show your receipts for that.
I had receipts, but the guy said to me...
All right, okay, time out.
No,
Give me a goddamn accountant on the line. Call now.
I'm going to tell you.
Let me show you that there is more than one way to skin a cat. There's no one way of doing it.
No,
that's all.
I do it my way.
That's fine.
That's what my accountant
And I'm saying I did it my way.
That's fine.
And ain't nobody wrong.
I didn't say you were wrong,
Okay,
Lee.
but you are. You said, well, you're not an accountant.
I am not telling you you're wrong. You're trying to tell me how to do something.
I'm not trying to tell you how to do a damn thing.
Did.
I did not. I said there's more than one way of doing it. That's all I'm saying.
No, you told me that I only have to give them a bank statement. That's what you said.
I'm saying to you, that's where I have done it for years, and I've never had a problem, never been audited.
I have receipts because I write a third of my everything off at my house for my business.
Okay.
Because I work there too.
That's fine.
And then I work other places. I have to have those receipts.
Okay. So they take it. I'm not going to argue with you.
No, I don't want to be
audited.
Let's move
on. Let's move on. What did you think of the Oscars?
They add it up.
What did you think of the Oscars?
It didn't get the ratings I thought it should. I thought it was
What did you think of it? Okay.
It didn't bother me. I think the best on there was this woman, and I looked her up. I think her name's Kendall Leak or something. She was amazing. She was a heavy-set woman that was amazing.
I didn't see any of it because
she could sing.
I was at the Oscar.
She was amazing. I think
carpet.
she stole the whole show.
That's good.
I mean,
what channel was that on?
I don't even look at channels. I just turn it where I see it.
Yeah, because it was
at the bottom.
50 different people doing it.
No, I think it
more.
was mainly the Oscars was on Channel 7. They had the rights, I think. Is that what station is Bachelor on?
I don't know. I don't
Somebody
watch
gets the rights to something. Not everybody can
Well,
go in and film it.
E had it, and ABC
no,
had
E
it.
had where you come in on
Right.
the red carpet.
Right. Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the Oscars.
Okay.
The Oscars, a lot of people said it was boring. It didn't bore me.
hmm
Which
I
is
didn't see any of
unusual
it because
it
I
was
was
a little long.
working.
I thought Jimmy Kimmel was amazing.
I was out with Jesse T. He was at the doing the red carpet at the what was it? The museum. What's the name of the museum?
Hollywood Museum.
Hollywood Museum. So I was out there helping them produce the show, and so I didn't see it. I didn't see the broadcast at all. So
You didn't go. Did they let you go upstairs to the top?
I was on the third floor, whatever floor we were on the whole time. I didn't go anywhere else.
Did you go up on top where they had all the food and dinner?
No, I didn't go up there.
See,
After I was done-
they had a huge screen up there.
Yeah, after I was done doing what we were doing, I was ready to get the hell out of there. I was there
'Cause
from
that's where Anita and them were.
9:30 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. So I didn't
Why
want
were
to
you
see
there
it.
at 9:30 in the morning?
We had to set up, and as it turns out, we couldn't get in until 11. But I was there because that's what time I
I
was
just
told that
have to
we need
laugh
to be
because
there.
of all you guys are there. That's one of my close friends.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
Yeah,
That owns
she
owns
went
the
up
museum.
to Anita and said, "Hi, I'm Dee Dee." Because Anita wants to put stuff there. But see, they're not going to chase you down. You either
Yeah.
want to, you do it or you don't.
Right. Well,
Because
that makes sense.
they're very well known, that museum. She kind of runs a lot of Hollywood.
Yeah, it was what I saw on the floor that I was on. And we were right there by the Batman exhibit, and that was kind of interesting. And Robin, who played, in the Batman TV series, he came through. Got a chance to shake his hand.
Was he the older one now?
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would not have recognized him if I saw him at
It's kind
shopping.
of cool, though, because she'll have things like Marilyn Monroe stuff, and people come. They do big dinners there. Mm-hmm. But I heard they wouldn't let anybody go downstairs to the basement.
Really?
No.
That's the dungeon,
That was
right?
the dungeon. They wouldn't let none of us down there.
I
Whoopi
wouldn't wanna
Goldberg,
go.
actually, the next morning, that place got more press than the parties.
Really?
As far as news. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was, for some reason, it stole the press.
Wow. Well, the one
Because
of the
Whoopi filmed from there in
Yeah.
the morning, and it was different things were all over news. I kept calling my friend. I go, she goes, no. I said, yeah. They even had one news that showed Anita and them. I guess they were walking the carpet and they were singing,
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I saw Anita and Barney. She was coming up the line. She was like 2 or 3 spaces away from Jesse, and she turned around and saw me. She said, "Lee."
I'm surprised she didn't recognize Jesse because
She did. Yeah,
Yeah, because she met him the same day she met you.
right. And we made eye contact, so she yelled out my name. And
She had fun though. She said it
yeah,
was.
she looked great. Both of
It
them.
was kind of funny though because I could have went to that, but I didn't want to.
Let me see. I can
I
pull
don't.
up some
I don't
pictures
like
here.
all that kind of stuff. It's
I probably won't do it again.
I had people at my house and I had food I cooked and
It's too much chaos for me. It's very tight quarters. Every person that was doing the interviews, they were like shoulder to shoulder. They're that close. And, it was, to me, it was
yeah,
just
I heard there was
overwhelming.
major press at her thing.
Yeah, it was a lot of people there. Lots of people.
They're having a huge auction there too. It's been all over the news.
Lou Gossett came through. The lady who made the Love Boat TV show successful, I think she wrote it or she created the thing. She was in a wheelchair. She's up in age now. And, I don't know TV and movie people that well because I'm not a TV or movie buff, but a lot of people came through. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can pull up some pictures here to show the audience. Maybe I can hold it up at the camera and you guys can see some of the folks that came through. Of course, that's Jesse T. He was the guy behind him is from what's a network called Voice of America. He was there. Let's see. We got Tracy Lynn Cowan was there. She was interviewing people on the red carpet. That's her and a friend. I don't remember her friend's name, but it's Tracy. She's a physical fitness person. She has a show here on
was she
Wednesday.
there?
Mm-hmm. She was on the red carpet interviewing people.
How did she get there?
Well, she's a TV radio personality. There's Jesse interviewing a little person. I don't remember this guy's name.
I didn't know she does a TV.
Mm-hmm. Well, she does TV here.
No, I didn't know she did
And
interviews like that.
Yeah, she's got a TV show coming up on another network soon. Now, here, let's see. Let me find a picture with Jesse and what's the guy's name? I'm trying to remember the guy's name that played Robin. But here's Anita and Bonnie Porter. They were laughing it up. And there's another picture of them. And here's a picture of Anita, Bonnie, and Jesse T. as he was interviewing them on the red carpet. You got to look up.
Yeah, I told her I would get some pictures. I found a really good one yesterday.
And there's one I think she was saying, I'm so excited.
So did you know Tracy was going to be at that one?
I did not until I saw her there.
Isn't that funny how many people were at the press?
And here's Robin that played in Batman and Robin TV series and his wife. She had a little Robin costume on. It was fun, but I wouldn't want to do it again.
It's a very interesting museum. Well, I think the reason I don't care to do that, because working with all the artists I have, I've been at the Grammys and all that, and the fun thing is behind the stage. It's not sitting in the audience. The audience, it could get real boring.
And if you listen to the Jesse T show, you see Dan the Man, that's him back there profiling. The guy next to him and standing up is Ed Losey, who is he did all of the PR for this event. And he's one of the top PR guys and represents a lot of TV and movie people.
Well, she told me the person she helped out, because she didn't charge him a lot to rent that, and she normally charges a fortune. Mm-hmm. She said he's an upcoming PR person. Upcoming?
Well, I don't know who that is.
That's what she said.
Ed Losey is already established.
Well, I'm just
saying, who this
is? I can't see it.
That's Gloria Allred.
Well, I've been to stuff because she was Melanie's lawyer.
Uh-huh. And she's holding up a sign.
Very nice.
Yeah, she seemed nice. I didn't say a lot to her, but introduced myself to her. She was holding up a sign that says, "The future is female." You know, she's obviously a lawyer and have represented a lot of females in various legal situations. Who's that guy? Carol?
I can't see that far.
You can't?
Oh, Lou Gossett.
Yeah, that's Lou.
Josefa is friends with him.
Yeah, that's another shot of Lou being interviewed with Jesse T.
That woman knows everybody that owns that museum.
Yeah, I would think so, because she's got memorabilia from
it isn't even just
so many
that.
people.
I wonder if that was always her dream, to just buy that building.
Mm-hmm. It's the old Max Factor building. Yeah.
Yeah, because I used to do Janice Factor's hair. There's a lot of factors, though. A lot of them.
I didn't know half of the people that were coming across there. But again, that's because I'm not a big movie person or TV follower. Now, what is your friend that owns the thing? What does she look like? Does she have long hair? That
Just
wouldn't be her, is
hair.
it?
No.
That's not her. Okay. Wonder, did she come down the red carpet? Do you know?
No, I doubt it.
Okay.
She was probably inside.
Then I probably didn't see her.
She was probably upstairs.
Okay.
They had a party going upstairs. I don't think they let the press up there.
No, the press wasn't invited up there. There was another Down on the first floor, they had food and stuff for the press, but we didn't. We went next door to Mel's Diner and ate there.
She owns that building.
Mm-hmm.
She owns the whole thing. Very successful woman.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's I was out there with Jesse Tororo. He was out there on the red carpet. He's done those things in the past, but I've never been that close to the red carpet thing. I've been to Grammys, but never to the Oscars and
Yeah, I'm surprised
TV
he doesn't
stuff.
push his show a little harder because of the stuff he can get into.
Yeah, he does. He's pretty heavy on it. But so that's I didn't see the TV show itself, the Grammys. I have to go back
It wasn't,
online
it was the
and check out
Oscars.
something. I'm sorry, the Oscars.
It was
See?
fair. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that woman that sang
Mm-hmm.
with all the people behind her, and they went into the audience. I enjoyed it. Some of the lines they had people say I didn't think was cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I tell people
There's
you
always
got to
gonna be some
remember who
controversy.
you work for, and people can be real jerks. Because I've come into situations where I've lost a job because of maybe something I've said.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be really careful.
Well, there's always going to be somebody, at these different
I
events
think
that
they scripted
become
that for
controversial.
that young girl. What's her name? Tiffany Kadish.
Yeah, I don't know who she
Oh,
is.
I love her. She's hilarious. But the line that they gave them, because normally they write it, I wouldn't have said it when they were talking about all the blacks there, because they're black.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one's mixed. And then when they said, oh, but there's just all white people in the back, I wouldn't have said that. I would have just, wouldn't allow nobody to make me say something like that.
Well, do you think it was meant to be funny, a joke?
Well,
or?
I didn't find it funny. I think right now racism has stepped so far up. I see it in all races, and it gets worse and worse. And I see it with friends of mine, where they just hate different races. And I have white people friends that act the same way. They feel everything Trump does is right, and I have Latin friends that think what Trump does, and then I have friends that think the same thing me and you think. You know, they're against it. A lot of this, but I just see it constantly with all different races. It's like the girl that went into the movie theater and somebody was sitting in her seats and she took a gun out.
Yeah, some people a
Well,
little over the
that
top.
happened once when I went to a theater with some people. Now, you do reserve those seats. You pay extra at certain theaters, like the one in Playa Vista. They have an upstairs you go to, and you, what's wrong?
Nothing. I'm just laughing at some of the comments I'm reading here on Facebook.
You pay extra for those seats, and I went with some people once, and they wanted somebody's seat that hadn't come yet, and they sat in it. And when the people came,
They got to get up.
no, they wouldn't get up. They told them, no, go over there and sit.
Oh, that's jacked
So the
up.
man and his wife went over there and sat, but then the people that he was sitting in their seat, he came back, and he said, you got to get up now. The people are here, and I'm in their seat. And they just got all rude with them. And before you know it, they were all going at it. F this and F that. And then the man that drove us there, he was yelling. I just sat there like, okay, when they all get in a fist fight and go to jail, I'll pick up the wigs that are going to get pulled off the head. And I thought there was no reason to do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of my friends' attitude, because I have friends of all races.
Yeah.
I have to tell them sometimes, don't think white women can't fight now. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Everybody
It's
believes.
it's just inappropriate.
And to reserve a seat, just sit in your own seat. You got
That's
to
it.
pick the seat when you came in. They said, here's the seats that are available. And
Right.
if you pick
And you
certain
pay for those
then
seats,
that's
right?
where you sit.
Yeah. So
But that happened in, was it North Carolina, Greenville, or somewhere? And the
Greensboro?
girl, I don't know if she shot at the guys, but she took out a gun. She was pissed. And, you know, you don't know who you're going to deal with, because
that's true.
I won't even flip people off now, ever since that guy messed with me when I flipped him off.
Well, if you're going to buy a seat and it's a reserved
You
seat,
do buy the seat.
and someone's sitting in your seat, you go to the usher and you say, "Hey, look, they got to go." I'm not going to sit there and argue.
They don't have ushers at theaters any longer.
Well, whoever, somebody's got to be in charge of that.
That's what should have happened, but
Right.
it didn't. And, it was, to me, I didn't know the people at the time. I was like this, okay.
Let me say hello to Shalma Anderson. What's up, baby? Val Young is tuning in. Ali. Dolores. Lisa. Veronique. How you doing, Veronique? Are you hiring? No, but I will go over the lines to help you in anything you want to do, Veronique, because you are a champion. You are awesome. Guy Brody is in the house. What's up, Brody? These are all on, I think this is my Facebook page. Let me go over to the Power of Voices and see what's going on over there. That's the only thing about social media. When you're in so many different places, you got to check them all. Check them all. Yeah, so, there's a lot of people talking about Seacrest didn't get a lot of the A-listers coming by on his red carpet.
They said he got people, though, that believe in him.
Yeah, I was reading an article this morning saying that a lot of people bypassed
press
him.
Is going to talk different, and you know that.
Well, of course.
Listen to, was it Fox or one? And they talked terrible about this young guy, and you could tell he was nervous, and he was off key and pitch, but they didn't have to talk so bad about him. Maybe it wasn't the place for him to perform. A lot of artists, and especially you sing live at that, I believe. I don't think you're allowed to lip sing.
At the Oscars?
Yeah, and I think he got really nervous. I noticed he was off pitch. I'm trying to think which movie it was from, because Miguel came out and sang the song after. Mm-hmm. But I felt bad for the guy, but the press...
They both sang the same song in the same show? That's kind of odd.
Probably if Easy was the song they had just made, it would have been the same thing, but... They have to be new songs. But the best one was the woman with the people all behind her. She blew me out of the water. She was amazing. And they interviewed her after she interviewed on something. Mm-hmm. And she said sometimes, because sometimes, like she said, people have illnesses that you have weight. It isn't that you're eating a bunch of food or something. And
right.
That's true. People should realize that. But I'm telling you, the voice that came out of her. And Mary J. Blige was amazing, too. Mary J. Blige looked beautiful. Mary J. Blige looked beautiful. Jane Fonda looked amazing. The woman that won supporting actress looked great in her red dress. I wasn't crazy about Viola Davis's dress.
Yeah, I
thought it was a little neon.
Michelangelo.
She's so beautiful.
Michelangelo, hey, what's up, buddy? See you tomorrow. Some guy named Dwayne Alford. Who is that? That's Alfo! What's up, Alfo?
Oh, I'm on. Okay.
Yeah, you're on.
I heard somebody call for an accountant, so I figured I'd call. That was what, 20, 30 minutes ago?
Yeah,
I'm not your Huckleberry, okay?
Right. I'm your accountant. Yeah, well,
how y'all today?
Good, man. We're crazy as usual.
You're arguing and bickering back and forth.
I know, over accountants. I mean, are you kidding me?
Over accountant, and then y'all call for an accountant. I'm like, well, let me call in.
No, I have an accountant in. I was only trying to tell my accountant don't just accept a bank statement.
Yeah, okay.
And most of my friends, it's the same thing. Maybe it's different for us. Like this shoot. Did you see that horrible crash, Elfie, I think it was in Brooklyn or Bronx? She was I think she's an actress on Hollywood, but she was with her kids. There were both of them, and this woman stopped to look, and then she ran the light. They said that she dragged the little baby that was in the stroller. They said it was the most horrific thing you could ever imagine. She slaughtered those two kids. When they got to the hospital, one woman was pregnant. She's in critical condition, but it's been all over the news. And
that's crazy.
They said when the woman that did this She was texting. She showed no remorse. She tried to get away, and the people in the street stopped her. And they said when the ambulance, they put her on a stretcher because I guess she was a little hurt, but she was sitting there texting. They said she showed no remorse whatsoever. She didn't cry or say, "Oh my God, what have I done?" They said it was like no big deal to her.
Oh, well.
But these babies were just slaughtered.
This is a car accident?
Car in I think it was back east in Brooklyn or the Bronx. Somewhere. It was, I think, yesterday, day before, because it's been all over the news because of the way the woman reacted. And I mean, she ran 4 people over, but she dragged the little kid trying to get away. His stroller was, she slaughtered those kids. You know, it's just horrible. Like some father
maybe
said.
Maybe she'll get 2 months probation.
Well, she's going to get more than that. She killed those kids. I mean, if it was my kid, she wouldn't have to worry. Well, I would find a way to get her.
These are her kids?
No, she ran people over.
Oh,
it was a hit and an attempted run.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, she was dragging the baby. He was in a stroller. And she was trying to get away, and people stopped. They said she showed no remorse whatsoever. And that, because there's one father, another one that happened to, too, back east, and people said, "Oh, you could sue." He said, "I don't care about any money. I just want my kid back."
Yeah, right.
You know, they've killed my kid.
You can get $100 million, but your kid is still gone.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah.
I mean, the one woman, I don't know if she was the pregnant one that's in the hospital. She's an actress. She's on something, they were saying. But it's been all over the news. It's just funny how people react to something. You know, I'm just curious if she was high or whatever. What was going on with her?
Yeah, she might have been for that
whatever
kind of...
she was.
No, she said something like
she should go down for vehicular homicide.
Oh, there you go.
She should go down for vehicular homicide and depraved indifference. Period.
Well, I'm going to tell you how bad it is out here. They had... I don't know which politician he was speaking and telling what's going on in California. He said it's no longer, our homeless encampments are out of control. He said, but you can't, it's the way life is out here. You're either super rich or you're one level above poverty. And that's kind of the truth, because all I do is pay bills.
But that's what they want.
And hope every month I can pay a bill. But just watching people, but what I'm trying to get to, there was a family they found in Joshua Tree. And they had their kids living outside. Now I'm going to show you how reporters start crap. They claim that these people, they took their kids from them. The father was 73. The wife, I think, was 40-something. They took their kids from them and put them in jail. And they claimed these kids had never been to school. They were dumb. Well, the truth was, they didn't just stay in that encampment. They had a little trailer. They homeschooled their kids. One of their kids, people all came forward about this family. They were furious because they created this family that, similar to the one, remember a month ago, the one with the 13 kids by Riverside or somewhere, and they were tying them up, and people that were 20-something years old looked like they were 10. They were starving them. They weren't those kind of parents, and it was really sad because when you first read the article, when it first came out, you're like, oh man, what else? But then the truth came out, I think 4 days later. This family took very good care of their kids. They just didn't have money. Is it a crime to be poor now? And that's what people want to know. Is it a crime to be poor? It turned out one of the kids is exceptionally bright, and they homeschooled their kids. They worked with their kids. You can't help it if you don't have money. Our rents are so high here. If they don't do something soon, there's going to be some issues because there's too many homeless people. Too many. They spend more money picking up human feces off of certain areas, spend a fortune cleaning the streets every day, getting it up. I mean, but a lot of people are confused. They go, oh, well, we need mental institutions. These people aren't all mental. They have a thing that hit Facebook yesterday looking for people that would possibly help these young kids that, young people that have no home right now, just help them so they can go to school and stuff. I don't know if they're paying people. They're looking for hosts for that. And it's kind of sad that our state's come to this because we now have farmers that can't get nobody to pick the produce because of Trump. He's trying to destroy our state in every way he can. And our rich are out of control with these rents. I mean, it used to be if you hired the rent every year, then you better go in and repaint the place. If they need new flooring, you better fix the flooring. You better fix stuff, but that's not happening any longer. And see, I don't do that to people. The only thing I tell a kid, if they stay over a year or two, you have to have the roof repainted, and you can get somebody to paint it for $100.
You require them to do that?
I require that, yes, because I don't take a security deposit. I take nothing from them but rent. That's all they can afford.
Have you been satisfied with their...
Yes, I have. If they use my bedding, they have to replace the bedding. They can take the bedding.
So they can hire whoever they want to do the painting?
Usually they ask me to. I'm pretty good at budgeting and finding the right people. I'm good at that. I could actually start a business teaching people different things, but I usually can get somebody for $100 to come in and paint the room.
Yeah, that's a good price.
And, you know, they don't complain about replacing the bedding because the last bedding I had in there was all Ralph Lauren. I paid money for that bedding, but I wanted him to replace it. He could take it. He took it. It was very good bedding. But we went out and he let me pick out bedding and pillows and everything, and it wasn't a problem.
Right.
I mean, he saved money, actually, because usually when you rent a place out here, they want first, last, and a security.
That's true.
And then 9 times out of 10, they're not going to give it to you back. They're going to claim you did something to the place. So I find it much easier to do this with people. Like the one girl that rented my room upstairs. Now, I kept all her stuff because she peed all over my floor. She peed on a brand new mattress, which cost me $300 to have someone come out and clean up that mattress.
Wow.
I just kept all her clothes, everything she owned.
She's
never come back for it. She's never tried to pay me back my money. So it's obvious it didn't mean nothing to her.
Nope.
You know, you
got
have
issues.
to be considerate if somebody's being nice. Because my son just rented a place with a roommate, and they had to come up with $4,000 just to move into a place. See, I try to make it easy.
First and last, or what?
I try to make it easier for young people. The last girl I was very disappointed with, the Korean girl, I actually asked her to leave because she was filthy. But I was able to clean up her mess. It wasn't where she had stuff splattered on my walls. It was just garbage all over the room. The kid that's there is now, he's extremely clean. Extremely clean.
Good.
I'm very lucky.
That's
and my
good.
cat, my male little man's totally in love.
You got a companion, huh?
No, it's love.
Lust or love?
It's lust. I don't care what the vets say. They keep saying it's not. They just claiming he heard him come in last night, and that little brat woke me up and was howling because he wanted to go out and
go hang out with him.
So I let him out, and the kid let him come in the room for a while. But he said the minute he laid down, he said he went sideways, laying watching. Huh? He said he started humping him. He said so he moved him and he put a pillow in the spot. He said he said I'm going to video it. He said because nobody believes this. They don't. The vets don't believe it. They go, he's just claiming dominance.
It's unusual.
So I think little man has come out of the closet. I'm not sure.
No, he's not. That's just animal stuff.
Oh, he was bad last night. I got mad at him because he woke me up.
Have you seen any of my posts on your animal videos that you post?
You know, I haven't looked at a lot of stuff lately because.
Well, Carol, you've had about 3 of them up.
I'll look at.
And I looked at the time frame of what they, how far they ran. And in each one of them, one was 2 minutes and 3 seconds long or something like that. My post is the same for all 3. This is 2 minutes and 3 seconds of my life I'll never get back.
Like what I post. I post a lot of animal stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
My friends love it.
And every one of your posts,
yes,
I will post.
My kids,
this is X amount of time of my life that I won't get back.
That's what they do. They sit back. Now, the baby wasn't an animal. The one that cried because she thought she was going to eat pizza. And when she opened her mouth, they stuck the
Yeah,
baby
yeah,
food in,
yeah,
and
yeah.
she
Sure, that
had a
was brutal.
tantrum.
That
She
was brutal.
really had a
She-
tantrum, huh? But she didn't need to be eating no pizza.
That's why Mom sucker punched her with that spoon of bullshit.
Oh, I thought that was so funny because that baby was already, and that baby was a little chunky. That baby was already eat that pizza, and that spoon came underneath.
And she had the pizza right in her mouth, and the baby opened his mouth. She's pulled the old switcheroo and slid that spoon of bovine down her throat.
That baby was so
And I laughed.
upset.
But I still posted, this is 45 seconds of my life I'll never get
Hey,
back.
did you watch the one with the two dogs eating, and there was 3 little bowls there, and all of a sudden here comes a little miniature parrot walks up her
Yeah, I saw that one too,
and
Carol.
he eats with them too. He has his.
I saw that one too. I posted this time and I wouldn't get my life back. And I
yeah,
said,
but you know, sometimes things like that take you away from all that horrible
No, it
stuff
don't.
we're seeing, like the stuff
No, it
in
don't,
Syria
Carol.
just makes me
because
cry.
I was screaming, that damn Carol.
Yeah, but
She got you in
did
it.
you watch the stuff I put up with Syria? With this little girl down
Yeah, I saw the-
hiding,
I saw
and
the
she's
girl.
begging people. Now, they did go in with food, but they couldn't stay in there. They had to get out. And I mean, this is Russia. And
Yeah.
This
that
is Russia.
terrible guy in there bombing
This
these
is Russia
innocent
and
people.
Assad.
Yeah.
And so many people, you see things like that, you believe that they are so horrendous, so over the top, but people will not involve themselves in how that is created. And that's created through politics.
Yeah, they
Straight
want
up.
him out of office.
They'll get him.
You know, it's kind of sad when you see little babies or men crying and they're running with their child, and
Yeah, but how
half
many
his
people
legs
have
blown
died
off your child.
before
I mean,
they get his ass?
Russia claims that's what he's going to do to us soon. He says he's
Well,
got,
he's well on his way
yeah, he says
with the
he
help
is.
from Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is the Manchurian candidate here. Have you been paying attention to the last 2
You
days?
know, lately he bothers me so much. I can't. I just. He
Yeah, but see,
makes
Carol,
me sick.
It's one
I
thing
want to watch nice
for him to
things.
bother you and make you sick, but then you remain unaware of what he's
Oh
doing.
no, I'm very aware of what he's doing. I have people that remind me. I just rather look at some fun things, like a baby thinking she's going to get some pizza, or just different things. I put up the serious stuff so people would help. There's a kid in my building, to be honest. He just came back from there. He fought alongside of those people. He's seen all his friends get killed, and he's going back. He fights with them, not with the Americans. He fights with them. And he's going back. He said it's the saddest thing you could imagine. And I mean, this thing that's getting ready to go down in Israel, you don't think Trump has something to do with that? I
Trump's
do.
got a lot to do with that.
Did you hear what
Just
they
like-
told him now? We'll give you $3,000 and an airline ticket, but if you don't get out, we're going to murder all of you. Do you know how
and
many of them are there?
And they're offering $8,700
Is that what it is
for
now?
the people who turned them in,
Oh,
capture them and turn them in. He's turning the state into a invasion of the body snatchers movie.
it makes me sick. And you know, it's
Yeah.
funny, the women don't feel like this. The Palestinian and the Jewish women, they're trying to be friends in that. And it's horrible. They want him out of office.
They
him
want
out.
who? Netanyahu?
Yes, people want him out. I seen that.
Okay, they
last
want
week.
him out.
I
But
don't know.
he's like Donald Trump.
He is.
He's more like Donald Trump
We
than,
got
than,
more
than
Donald
anybody.
Trumps controlling countries right now than
And see, that's
scary.
because people aren't paying attention. There are more of us than there are of them.
But see, the
And
problem
what they've
is,
done,
pay attention to what he's doing. He's baiting racists against racists.
well, that's the whole
And
thing.
people
do.
are falling for it. I watched my own friends falling for it. They'll say, oh, I hate that person. I hate that white person. Or I hate that black person.
Carol,
You're falling
racism,
into what he wants you to fall
racism
into.
is
We
in the
didn't live in
DNA of
slavery.
this nation. Period. You're not going to avoid that. You already know that.
Well,
and being
I
a
think
Native
this younger
American, you know that.
generation, these kids, I have a feeling.
No,
that
no, don't,
they're
no,
gonna
no,
change.
no.
They're going to change a lot
Okay,
of things.
they're going
I
to change.
believe
All
them.
right, all right, all right.
I'm actually going to walk with them. I think is it next week? Week after we're walking. But,
You
know,
walking
I
with the
have faith in
kids?
them. Huh?
You walking with the kids?
I always walk with people.
You murderous, commie, liberal. Let me put it
what
like
do these
this.
kids do? They watch their
Let me-
friends
let-
get
no, no,
blown
no, no,
away
no.
out of school.
Carol,
What?
be able to identify snark. This is what they will call you. This is
I
what
don't
they will
care
tell
what
you.
they call me. I really
But
don't.
Carol, okay.
I've had to fight my whole life. I come from a city,
Okay,
a
so
place
if
that
you had to fight your whole life, you would understand that you're still in a fight.
I am.
You were in a war.
Oh, I do. I'm not saying I don't feel like that, but I feel it takes all of us to stick together and quit putting each other's down. I can't stand it. I go around, I have friends of all races, and I don't want to hear it. I have friends that are religious, a sister that's religious, and she'll vote for Trump again. Two of my sisters will. Because they're against abortions, they're against this, and I'm sorry. I can't handle that because it's not right.
Well, that's their
And see,
life.
that's not all Christians feel like that. Because I have a friend out here. She's very religious, and she don't.
Not
feel
all
like
Christians
that at
are
all.
Christians.
They don't all. Feel
Not all
like
Christians are Christians.
That. No,
Amen,
my
brother.
friends are Christians. She don't feel the way they all talk.
See,
Well, some people are proclaimed or claim themselves as Christians, but they don't
She
live
is a Christian.
a Christian
she goes
life.
to church all the time. She
Well,
does
going
live
to,
a
you know,
Christian
a lot of
life.
people
Going
go
to
to
church all the
church don't
time,
mean
but
nothing.
yeah.
She just doesn't believe
They
in
go
all
straight
that.
from the
It's-
bar to the church. That
It's
ain't
like a
Christian.
lot of people say the same thing I say. God didn't write the Bible. Man wrote the Bible. So I'm not going to follow the Bible. I'll follow it to a degree because when I learned to read, somebody decided how you read in that. So I look at the Bible to a degree, but God didn't write that Bible. He made
I don't look
all
to the Bible
living
at all.
creatures, everything. He made all
I don't
plants.
look into the Bible at all. You know why? Because most of the stuff that's in the Bible are on the walls of Egypt in the pyramids and on the walls of Egypt, period. And they stole that religion. They stole that, all of that, and put it in the Bible. And let me
Translated
put it like this.
25,000 times.
Yeah, let me
Who
put it
knows
like
what
this.
what the real meaning was. But
Yeah.
it's been translated
Absolutely.
from
And let me
different
tell you
points
like
of view.
this. To the victors, they get to tell the stories. And the stories have been lies, especially to black people, especially to Native Americans, especially to people of color.
That's true.
Nothing but lies. We have been miseducated, undereducated, just like we are. Our schools are underfunded. Our children are uneducated on purpose. And I just...
Well, see, I can't always agree with you there. If
Okay,
you,
I
if
don't need
get
for you to agree with
behind
me,
your
Carol.
kid,
I don't need for you to agree with me.
There's so much you can that's out there for these kids. I went after it.
Carol,
I've
your
helped other
argument is
people.
accepted.
I won't accept it.
I accept the same thing you're saying. I accept the same thing you're saying. But when the deck is stacked against you with institutional racism, and it's been there for hundreds of years, if you don't approach it in a different way, you will always be the victim.
Yeah, I was watching something this morning. Woke up at about 5 o'clock and yanked out my phone and was going through some stuff. And somebody had sent me a message. And it was a video of this guy. And I can't remember his name, but that's how significant he is to me. But he basically, agrees with everything that Trump is doing. He's the head of one of these supremacist groups. It's masked. Was it... let me see if I can find it. But he was being interviewed by a Hispanic brother, and he basically is saying that he's fighting for white folks because, as I've been saying for the last couple of years, white males are at the point where they realize they're not going to be the majority in the next 20 years or so.
And I think a lot of them don't care.
Well, and there's some that don't care. Some are pro the movement that it's going to happen regardless, okay? Because the people that are coming into this country, they don't want, if they're not white, if they're not coming from Europe, they don't want you here. And that's why this whole, push to shut down the wall on our southern borders and tighten up the immigration policies and all of that is because of white males are losing their damn minds because they feel they're going to lose power. They're not going to be white presidents in this country. They're not going to be white people running all of the major corporations. It's just not going to happen. It's evolving. And you know what I say to all of that? Welcome to my world. Shit.
Well, and here's the problem.
I mean, it is what it is. I didn't have nothing to do with it.
Here's the problem. You see what's happening in South Africa? You see what the new president of South Africa is saying that we're going to take our land back from these white farmers.
They are.
And the first thing the white... They need to take it back and not give them a red damn cent.
They took back in different parts of Africa.
They need to take it back.
And it's kind of sad because it was their ancestors that did this, not the people that are on the farms now.
Okay, but if you benefit from what your ancestors did, just like white man has benefited from the racism of his ancestors.
Should take our land back from
I agree.
Damn right. I agree with you.
I agree with you.
I agree with you, but you can't say,
I'll be there in the battle to help you get it.
Let's let them have it now.
No, I don't know, but I think you better use something other than a tomahawk now.
Come on.
That ain't gonna
Thank
work.
you.
You go get
Come on, Carol. Where at this
the
point, where's
the
Chris?
tomahawk ain't gonna cut it down.
Oh, where's Chris Bass? Chris Bass.
Chris is on assignment. I think he knew today was going to be wild and crazy. But listen. And I'm sitting here listening to this guy, and he's saying this is our country. We made it great.
It isn't theirs, though.
No, of course not. But that's the bullshit that they're spewing. Hey, man, you came here and stole it from the natives, okay? You brought people from their native countries to come here to work as slaves. Africans, Asians, Chinese and the black folks helped build the railroad system here in this country.
But now you had Africans that helped get other Africans.
Of course.
That's right.
Of course.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Kind of like now you see
and the same
all
thing,
races behind Trump.
And the same thing happened with the American Indians. You know, they fought against each other and teamed up with the white man at some point in time.
They enslaved each other in Africa, the whole 9 yards. Slavery has been at the root of the beginning of civilization.
Yeah.
Did you? What was the name?
What they did to the Jewish people. They put thousands and thousands of people
in an
Carol,
oven
to burn. So so they all races have had something happen. Look at the Japanese.
Absolutely.
The atomic bomb and put them in concentration camps in this country.
See, but it's wrong. Carol, when you stand up for Native Americans, it's wrong when black folks stand up and say what was happened to them, but it's okay when people from the Jews will not let you forget the Holocaust.
Don't forget the Holocaust.
And we shouldn't forget it.
I don't think
it was horrible.
Let you forget slavery either.
Yeah. How many millions?
But us
not
Native
just
Americans
slavery.
Sit back like idiots.
How many millions of Africans and how many millions of Native Americans were slaughtered that nobody wants to talk about?
And and you talk about the Holocaust.
The bloodbath in history was done in this country to Native Americans.
Yeah.
African doesn't compare to it, or the Jewish.
Okay,
so I don't know which one was worse, but I know they're both were millions. There's not a lot of
Native Americans now.
There are millions on every account that were slaughtered.
Oh, it's a known fact that this was the biggest genocide.
Well, and that's horrible.
I believe the Holocaust, the Chinese the Japanese incarceration, all of those things that they tell you never to forget. And the one thing that they have forgotten are that millions of black people were put in boats and died. 80% of them died on their way here from Africa, and they threw them in the ocean.
Yep.
Now, when you start talking about numbers...
Well, they put Native Americans on boats, promising there was going to be something there for them. And I can show you pictures of Native American children nailed to trees, maybe 8 of them lined on the way up to the tree.
I can show you pictures of black people hanging from trees.
So it isn't just blacks that have had it bad. It's many races.
No, it's not just blacks that had it bad.
It's got to change. It's got to change.
Don't poo-poo it when black people and native people want to stand up and fight these devils because they're devils.
Oh, they took from us. My people only have wastelands. You got some reservations.
That's my whole point, Carol. At some point, the Native Americans who are still alive have to stand back and realize that has to make you angry to see what
Obama came in and he helped as much as he could. You know, he really did.
Yeah, Obama came in and he was afraid of the people who hated him.
Well, I know he helped Native Americans. I know I
do too. I know he helped Native Americans. He helped this country. My criticism of Barack Obama has been consistent with what he's done and what he was afraid to do.
That's what they should do in Africa, give all the people back their country in South Africa. But see, the funny thing is, when Africans come here from Africa, I've said in things like College Bound, they get mad when the American blacks stand up and call themselves
I don't give a damn if they get mad.
No, let me finish. These are blacks from Africa. You should hear how they
talk. I understand where they're from.
They would rather be considered white than
well,
black.
Fine, let them be considered white.
It's unfortunate.
They are a minority.
It's
even in the black community.
That they have that point of view when they, and you're right, Carol, they look down their nose at Native Africans. I was born here. I don't know a damn thing about Africa. I ain't never been there, have no desire to go there. I don't have a problem with it, but I live here. This is my country. This is where I was born and raised.
Right.
My parents were born and raised here. My grandparents were born and raised here. Some of my great-great-great-grandparents were not born here. But I was born here. I have no damn desire to go no other country, and I'm not going to ever live in another country. I'm going to die in the United States of America because I'm an American, period. And ain't no argument about it. Ain't nobody going to try to convince me to go, leave, go. Hell no. I was born here. My great-great-great-grandparents were forced to come here.
They're taking parents that have been here 40 years. They
That's
sent a guy
screwed up.
yesterday. They're not going to stop.
And how messed up is that?
They took a guy from Jordan. He has a store, and all the people in that city love this man. And they took him.
Was he here 39 years or 29 years?
I thought it was 40.
Well, whatever.
40 years.
What I'm saying, they're not going to stop there. If people let them, they're going to go on and on. In their mind, they want to create just a white country.
They do.
Well, Carol,
oh, absolutely. They'll tell you that.
I've seen 2 of your posts where they're sending people, deporting people. And you speak about the extermination, the genocide of Native Americans. You acknowledge what has happened to black people. What point do you understand that this is a war? These people are evil. They are no good. And it's time to exterminate them. And I know you might not be for extermination, but don't forget, you're the one who's going to take scalps. You have to set aside the...
Well, sometimes it's like I said earlier, I haven't been watching a lot of stuff because I don't want to hear it every day. I can cry about what happened to my people, but I didn't live back then. But
I didn't either.
Let me finish. I come from a city where we're called savages. I wasn't invited into their home. Now, I have sisters that have a different father. They got to do all the normal stuff, but not my... there was 7 of us on my side and 7 on theirs, and we weren't welcome into their places. So I live that life, but I don't live that life now, and I have to learn to move on from that and say, I'm who I am. When I came here, I didn't want anybody to know what race I was.
You can move on, but don't forget.
Right.
I don't
You
forget.
can move on, but don't forget.
If you don't know
And
your
don't-
history and
Right,
respect
if you
your
don't
history,
know
you'll
it,
never
you're
know where you're
lost.
going to
I
go.
know my
You're
history.
lost.
We're not
I like
talking about
that.
you. It's just a general statement.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
right. It's a general statement. We're not talking about you personally. I am simply saying this: black people, especially, if you don't identify the fact that for hundreds of years, not only have you been miseducated, indoctrinated, the whole 9 yards, there has to be. This is why they are so afraid that they will not be in the majority, because they fear we will do to them what they've done to us. And slowly but surely, I'm kind of in that mindset. Is it right? Hell no. It's not right. Hell no.
Well,
But-
I don't think it's going to come down to that. But, you know, to these people who are paranoid, who happen to be Caucasian, that thinks that the world's not going to be in the palm of their hands anymore, I understand your fear. I get it. I totally understand where you're coming from on that. I think that you need to exhale and respect the fact that we're all here and things are not always going to be the same. The status quo will not move forward with you. You have to accept and realize that America is evolving. What are we, about 400 years old? By comparison to many other societies, we're still a baby.
Exactly.
Okay? So who's to say what it's going to be 500 years from now?
And on this planet, who is killed, murdered, raped, and grifted more than anybody else in the world? The United States of America.
That's right. That's a fact. We don't want to accept it. We don't want to acknowledge it, but it's a truth.
So when were we great? When were we ever great? And when were we ever anything other than evil?
See, these are the things that people want to ignore, and they want to say, "Oh, well, that's you're just making that up." No. That's not what it's about. Ain't nobody making up anything. You can't change history. You can't change facts. You can't have your facts and then I can have my facts. There's only one fact, okay? The fact of the matter is these are the things that really happened. Now, many of us that are here today had nothing to do with it, but we can't ignore the fact that they happened, and we should be aware that they happened and work towards avoiding it from happening again.
Well, a lot of
And
people
you-
don't want to work to avoiding it.
Well, yeah, but
They
those are the
go
people that
back
are
and
fearful.
back and say terrible things about white people, and white people say terrible things about black people, and Indians. A lot of them just
So
get drunk.
let me ask you a
Well, then
question.
beat
So
down.
it's like if everybody would stop. I hear it all the time because of different people
I
hang
hear it
with,
all the
and
time, too.
I get sick of it. It's like I have a Latin friend. And
Okay, fine, Carol, you get
she's
sick
a
of it.
Stone Trump follower. She's kind of racist against her own people.
Well, let me ask you a question,
And
Carol.
I get sick of being with a friend of mine that she's always got something to say about white people. Not all white people are bad. Not all black people
No,
are bad.
You're right.
And that's,
No,
You're right.
that's
all
what
white
needs
people
to
are not
change.
bad.
No,
All white people are not bad.
No, not at
But
all.
let me ask you something. When you say that black people are saying bad things about white people all the time, and white people,
I hear
did
it
we
from all
start it?
races.
Did we start it? Did we start
Well,
with the
I'm a
name
different
calling?
generation,
Did we
so
start
I
the
can't
lynching?
Go back in time.
Did we start the lynching? Did we just start? Did we start the
They lynched
genocide?
Native Americans. They lynched Jewish people.
I said, did we start the genocide?
I don't know.
That's
who
Native
started
Americans
it. All
too.
people, every race.
All
to
people
me
started
has
it.
been-
Come
yes,
on.
Different people
Come
started
on.
it. Look at the guy in Africa.
We're not
What's
talking
his
about a
name?
single
Well,
guy.
let's step back a minute. The genocide there. I had a friend that her whole family basically got slaughtered, and she explained it to me, what they did, how she went to embassies begging for help. It was it Watutsis killing Tutsis?
Yeah,
All I know is she
it
told
was
me
the
they would go
Hutus.
down the street.
It was the Hutus
Let me finish.
and
They
killing
would
the
go down the
Tutsis.
street, she said,
And they were in
would hack.
Uganda.
They would,
Was
they would
was
go
it
out, Can I
Uganda?
finish, please? They would go out of their
You
way.
didn't, I'm trying to correct what you were saying,
you
Carol.
don't- you can correct
You were
me
calling them
after.
out of their. Oh
Okay.
God!
I'm just telling you what
You were
she
calling
told
them
me
out of their
happened
name,
there.
Carol.
She told me it was horrible.
you
They went after the kids because they didn't want that tribe to exist any longer.
They called them little cockroaches, and you have to kill the cockroaches. And the United States sat back on the Clinton, and they
Honey,
allowed
whole
the slaughter
world
to
sat
take
back.
place.
The whole
Well,
world.
what is the whole world?
She was
what?
in Paris and went to their embassy. Nobody helped.
Nobody helped.
Nobody
Of course,
helped.
nobody helped. The entire nation had been turned on the Tutsis. The Hutus were turned on the Tutsis by propaganda and lies. And we're experiencing the same
she
damn
don't
thing
tell that
in this
story.
country.
She said they just didn't want that tribe to be around. They went out of their way to kill all their kids.
Why?
Exactly.
I
Why?
don't know. I could get her to come on one day if she wants to talk about it.
Sure.
I could ask her to talk about it, but the whole world went against him. It wasn't just the United States. It was the whole world.
Well, there was probably something to
No,
gain by
it
the whole
wasn't
world
United-
Nobody
by
would go
Right.
in and help
genocide.
them.
That's
They
my
didn't help
point.
the
What-
Romanians
United States
either.
didn't
What
go
kind of
against
minerals
them.
were in the ground? You know, the
United
the
States
gold,
didn't
the
go
silver,
against
the
them.
diamonds. You got to look beyond just the genocide that's happening. There's a
were
reason.
other tribes that killed that tribe. They
I
weren't
understand.
white people.
I'm saying that, but yeah, but
And isn't he still around Zimbabwe? Is that how you say his name?
who?
Is it
No.
Zimbabwe? What's his name?
Zimbabwe is a country.
No, there's a guy
Zimbabwe.
with that name similar that goes in. Remember they kidnapped all those students, and they do the same thing that they're doing in Mexico now. It's not safe to go into Mexico. I'm just saying, people kill their own, just like here. You see it every day.
They've always killed their own. The Native Americans used to fight amongst
They
themselves
did.
before
we
the
had
white man
different
showed up.
tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there was
And-
a reason they were doing it, for land, for water, for, a number of reasons, and then people are pinned against each other for any number of reasons.
Well,
And many times it's just power. They're intimidated by each other, or one tribe has a better river or richer land to grow crops. So there's
Fishing.
any number of
but
things.
think now, we're in the United States. We have certain areas. If you're a certain gang, you don't go in that area.
Yeah, it's
So
territorial.
it still goes on. It goes on in this country.
Yeah.
It really does. You can go over by Eagle Rock. You have the Cypress and Fifth, the avenues. You don't cross paths, those people. You don't come in there and think you're going to sell drugs or what. Those
And here's
different
the
gangs
difference.
control. You can go in these areas. I can go right up the street from where I live, and we're considered one of the best cities now. And there's a gang up there, the Culver City gang. Then you have the Venice gang that wants to step in. Then if you go back around Robertson, you got the Playboy Crips. You can just go all different areas.
Mm-hmm.
They do the same thing that was done years ago.
But
You got the Chinese gangs out here. You got it still
and
exists.
they're fighting over something that don't belong to them, and they will never own. When you start talking about the African tribes and the Indian tribes, they were fighting over land. They were fighting over true belief.
Mm-hmm.
Be it religion, be
actually,
it land, be
we
it
all still do
resources.
the same thing. We fight with other countries. It never stops. It never stops.
Chris Bass.
It would be nice if it would stop, but it still goes on. If you really think
Chris
about it.
Bass.
I mean, look at Syria. Look at Saudi Arabia, how they treat women.
Look at Syria. Look at Saudi Arabia. Look at Egypt. Look at the Palestinians. Look at India and the Pakistan.
Look at the United States.
Look at the United States.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
So what are we going to do about it?
I don't think we can. The world
We
has to
ain't
end.
gonna do a damn thing about it. Nothing.
I really think the world has to end.
And now, you think the world has to end?
Yeah, I think
Well, hold on.
that's-
Let me get off first. Okay, Jesus.
Well, we won't be around for that, I don't think. but
well,
it's
Yeah,
gonna
exactly.
happen.
I think the world, no matter what country you are from or live in, no matter your religious beliefs, the bottom line, you've got to learn to love yourself, respect the earth, and want to live so that your kids and your kids' kids and the kids' kids, so that your family tree can exist forevermore. When we get to that point, I think then we can come up with some solutions. But until then, until we all have more respect, and for those who have no respect for life itself, nothing is going to change. So that's the focus in my mind. This is just my opinion. How we come up with a workable solution that's good for all. Kill the greed. Stop being power hungry, egotistical maniacs. Stop trying to emulate bad behavior. And I don't care whether it's a gang member, a preacher, a doctor, an everyday person that's not a powerful person at all, or the president of the United States. If his or her behavior is bad, recognize bad behavior and say, I don't want to do that. And just because that person is in a position of power and they act bad, they do foolish, ignorant, and selfish things, does not make that good because they're successful at it, because we allow them to be successful at it. And we must change that mindset. And to think that, listen, anybody should be able to run for whatever office you want to run for if you're qualified and if you're sincere about bringing about the correct change that may be necessary or needed. But when I hear people like Stacey, what's her name, Stacey Dash?
Yeah, Stacey Dash.
Why? What are you running for? Because your ego is bigger than your ability.
She was a celebrity.
What?
See,
celebrity
when you
doing
have,
what?
Look.
What is she? What is she good at?
Well, let me put it like this: she's a celebrity. She's had movie spots. She's had sitcoms. She's taking advantage of the fleeting populism that she's enjoyed, and she's going to try to cash in on her popularity. What she doesn't understand is she can't go home. She can't get a black. And dig this: she's running for Congress in a district full of black people.
Well,
now, you're talking about disappointment.
Well, I guess she thinks she can bamboozle people of color because she's somewhat a person of color.
She's got one thing going for her, and that's the only thing going for her.
And what's
She's
that?
pretty, but her soul is as ugly as Trump's ass.
Exactly. She was born in 1967. Let's see here, a little bit of background on her.
My son was born in 67. My second son. No, my first son.
She claims to be a Democrat. But
How the hell is she going to be a Democrat on Fox News?
Right.
How's she going to be a Democrat supporting Donald Trump?
Okay, she was a Democrat before 2012. Then she became a Republican because Fox News probably threw some money at her and said, hey, look, come on over here. You fit the description, but you got to change your political beliefs.
Well,
So she sold her soul for rock and roll.
I think a lot of people, too, of minority races, too, didn't want a black president. I think some of the people were just as bad.
Yeah, it's like 4%.
Because I have friends that are mine, and they talk terrible about Obama. I go, he was the best person I've ever had.
And he could have been even better if Congress allowed him to do more things to help grow this country in the right direction.
No, Lee. No.
Yeah,
He could have been. Listen. He could have been a better president if his agenda was number one in his mind. If he didn't hold the belief that I got to get along with these people.
Well,
if
yeah,
he
okay, so you're saying he should have ramrodded what he thought was the appropriate thing to do. So to have mean-spirited, nasty behavior like Trump.
He wasn't mean-spirited.
I know. I'm saying that. I agree with you on that. But you're saying in order for him to accomplish what you just said, he would have to be more like Trump. What is Trump accomplishing? But more chaos in this country.
He would not have to be like Trump. See, it's one thing that people miss. This is why I follow politics so closely. Look at California. Do you realize California was in a $26.8 billion red? And when the Democrats took over, now they're in the blue? Or is it black? Which is it, blue or black?
Black.
It's positive. By billions of dollars.
Right.
This is about an ideology that conservatives bring, and if you don't understand what conservatives are, they're simply trying to save the history of this nation and what they've been about, and white domination and white supremacy. And I understand people say, I'm sick of black and white, I'm sick of all that, but it's in the DNA of this nation. Let's be sick of the divisive racism and the divisive race baiting after we've smoothed this BS out and everybody has equal everything. Don't give me unequal schools, unequal loan access. Don't curtail my access to money and opportunity and education and tell me everything is going to be all right.
Hey, that's a song, isn't it?
Okay, getting back to Sarah Dash. Okay.
Stacey Dash.
Stacey Dash. I'm sorry. Sarah Dash is a recording artist. My bad. Stacey Dash has a very, I wouldn't say she has a long-lasting career. She's 51 years old. Okay. She appeared in such films as Moving, Mo Money, Renaissance Man, View from the Top, television shows like CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, Single Ladies, Celebrity Circus, which she should have been a star in.
She was.
Just the name fits her.
No,
you know what I mean?
The costume
and everything. She also appeared in Carl Thomas's emotional video.
Was she in Clueless?
And Kanye West, All Falls Down. Then she became a panelist on the Fox talk show for 1 year, 2014 to 2015. And in 2018, she filed paperwork to run as the California 44th Congressional District in this year's election. So that's it. Carol's dossier is longer than that.
And those districts consist of which neighborhoods? Compton? And what's the other neighborhood?
Watts, Compton.
Watts, Compton, yeah.
Crenshaw District, I think is
Crenshaw,
yeah.
That's the other one.
Yeah,
now,
well, I want to see her get out there and hit the stump through those neighborhoods. First of all, it's highly black and Latino, okay? So the Hispanics, I don't think are feeling her, and the black folks are not feeling her. So she's got no chance in hell, and it ain't enough white folks in those communities to bring her through. So I predict that she will have a failed attempt, but she'll come out on top because people say, "Oh, that's a girl that ran for Congress and lost."
Well, she's setting the
they'll probably
stage.
give her a reality show.
Yeah.
She's setting the stage. She's setting the stage. That's what she's doing.
And she's born in New York, so she'll come here with that New York attitude and get her ass handed to her. Trust me when I tell you, there's a big difference between New York and Los Angeles. Big, huge.
Yeah, they're on different coasts.
She has a stepfather. I know her stepfather, Cecil Holmes. Great guy. Great guy. Fantastic guy. I didn't realize that that's his stepdaughter. Yeah, well, good luck, baby.
He probably doesn't advertise that she is.
Cecil is a wonderful guy. He's a great guy. Great professional
Sorry
in
to
the
hear that.
entertainment business. Interesting.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm just reading this in Wikipedia. You find out a lot about people. She appeared in the 1985 TV show, The Cosby Show, as Michelle. She was probably a little girl then. And the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, she did.
So,
she appeared in all of that.
Yeah.
She has a resume, but she also has a foot in her damn mouth and her head
is
up her
bigger than her
ass.
resume.
And flexibility seems to be her biggest asset.
Yeah. Oberweber. Anyway, so
Tell
and
me-
then now Michael Savage, has he officially signed up or is that just air talk?
What's he gonna run in?
He's running for Senate.
Good.
Can you imagine
he
him
run- I mean-
sitting on the Senate floor
Yeah,
debating?
I can imagine him running for the Senate. And see, that's how Democrats got a toehold when they were running all of these over-the-top extreme candidates.
Excuse me.
The girl from what was it, from Nevada with the Second Amendment Solutions, the boy who was that? What did he say? Women should understand that rape is natural or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he was running in Missouri, and Claire McCaskill beat the hell out of him.
Right.
I mean, it's like Roy Moore running in 50 states. That's why Democrats win in red states. There's a Texas special election tonight. And the outcome of this race is going to send shockwaves. If a Democrat wins this race,
What part of
Republicans
Texas is this one?
I can't. I'm trying. I don't. I believe it's the 18th, and I'm not sure. That might be Pennsylvania. That's the 18th, but it's tonight, and it's today. It's a special election in Texas. Google it.
Yeah, I'm ready to do that.
I don't know how.
You don't know how? What are you talking about? You do too.
I don't know how to do none of that. All I can do is try to find a song. I heard a part of a song, and I asked the young people around me in my house. I even called my granddaughter, one of my youngest granddaughters, and asked her about the
that?
song,
Is what?
That noise.
and she didn't know it.
Harris County election officials. If it's in Harris County, let me see here. Yeah, they're preparing for a big turnout. That's Harris County. That's Houston. Houston area.
And the seat is the incumbent was a Republican.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, that's gonna be
They're up.
That's gonna be
Early
really wild.
voting is up 109%.
Mm.
Early voting alone.
Well, that could say a lot, but then on the other hand, it might not say so much because it could be early voting favoring a Republican too. So you never know.
Did you just hear what I said? early voting is up 109%.
Right.
Republican early voting is down 40 points. It's only 15%.
Oh, okay. So I understand you having the difference in the two parties.
Oh, I got the numbers.
Why? How you gonna tell me you don't know how to find it, but you got all the numbers? What is that?
Paying attention.
Tap in for results. Okay. Yeah. Well, the polls close at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Okay.
And so we'll be watching the outcome of that race.
And this will be the what number that has been flipped? Seat has been flipped? 27, 28, something to that effect.
That's huge. And how
When
many
you
was
see-
it? Like 30-something that needed to?
Oh, 24. They only
24?
need 24. And we're not talking about congressional seats. I'm talking about state and some congressional seats.
Okay.
Lee, when you look at what has happened in the last 2 days alone, 2 days alone, they've got reporting that Vladimir Putin picked our Secretary of State. Rex Tillerson has got a picture of him getting a medal of some kind pinned
Right.
onto his lapel by Putin.
Right.
He was with Putin in an oil deal that gave him $19 billion. Donald Trump did not know this man. He never met this man. And he becomes Secretary of State.
Yep.
And then you have
That
what?
was a Putin dictate.
Exactly. And then you have what? Did you see the Nunberg fool?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, Lee. No wonder you weren't excited about politics this morning. I'm excited as hell about politics.
Well, what about this moron that did the TV circuit yesterday?
He's Nunberg. That's Nunberg.
Yeah.
Sam Nunberg.
And,
I'm not going to the grand jury. Oh, they're not going to arrest me.
and the CNN
That's
host
white
said,
privilege.
"Do I smell alcohol in your breath?"
Right. Or he said, "Are you? I haven't had a drink. So you're not under the influence of anything?" No. Maybe. Then he goes, "Maybe my meds."
Maybe my meds.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah,
This
well,
boy
see,
was.
let me explain
He was
something.
totally unhinged.
This guy, first of all, he threw his finger up to the subpoena. He said, "I ain't going." Okay, so you're either going to go before the grand jury or you're going to jail. So you make the choice. You pick one or the other. But then he goes on TV, goes to all the talk shows, and expose all of this nonsense, and his message was not consistent. So here's what I think is happening with this clown. I think him and Donald Trump got together, and Donald said, "Just go out there and act a damn fool like me, and they're not going to believe anything that you say." So, and then you're going to eventually have to go to the grand jury, and then when you go to the grand jury and tell them the truth, they're not going to believe you. So,
Well,
it's
Lee,
stupid.
let me offer you up a different scenario.
Well, I know there's several ways of looking at this, but that's a possibility.
Oh,
Nothing would surprise me anymore.
Okay. This boy, first of all, he was waving a subpoena around.
Right.
Subpoena according to the paper. Don't show this to anybody. He's waving it around on television. He's talking about it. He's talking about the investigation. One thing you have to understand is Bob Mueller was sitting there with a big-ass smile on his face. Because either way it go, if he's not a target, and he said he wasn't a target, he can go to jail just for bringing that subpoena and talking about it on air. He violated the law. And Mueller's not in any mood to give anybody, cut anybody no slack.
Right. He doesn't have to.
And when you get down to the I think Carter Page, he threw Carter Page under the bus. I think Carter Page is a Russian operative. Well, so did the FBI and the CIA and everybody else. But look, the Republican Party, Lindsey Graham, Grassley, they referred Steele dossier, Chris Steele, to the Justice Department, oh, he lied. When you have the Jim Jordans and the Devin Nunes trying to take down the Republican Party has attacked the FBI. The Republican Party has attacked the CIA.
Right.
Now, but they're the party of law and order. This so-called president is an illegitimate traitor, and Bob Mueller has got him by the tail now.
Yes, his fires all around him.
They asked him, did Trump, did he say, do you think Trump did something wrong? He probably did. He was totally off his rocker.
Okay, I mean, listen, let's cut through the chase. First of all, how stupid does the president think the American people are, and really the justice system?
There are 65 million people who are stupid as hell.
Well, yeah,
that's how many votes he got.
Right.
But
now,
there's 68 million that are not.
Aside from that, the bottom line is, ain't no way in hell I will go to my grave believing that when that email came in from these Russian people requesting a meeting, you're telling me that Donald Jr. and his other brother and the son-in-law didn't run and have a meeting with Donald Trump about this? You're telling me that they did this on their own accord without consulting with Big Daddy Woo-Woo? Ain't no way in hell did that go down that way.
And Donald Trump is banking on one thing. His lying ass, and people are going to take his word for it. You attack the FBI and attack the credibility of the entire investigation and hold on to your base and say, it's a witch hunt, it's fake news.
Yeah.
And all the while, the people in your satellite who are evolved around you are quitting, pleading guilty,
fired, pleading guilty,
going to jail, the whole 9 yards. Jared Kushner is going down. Donnie Jr. is going down. Even Ivanka, she's going down.
How can they all go down, and how can he isolate himself from the corruption that they were involved with?
It's
impossible.
Here is the isolation. He has been involved so much in business where he's going to say he was, what do they call it? He was allocating these duties. He wasn't directly involved, which is a lie. And to prove that he wasn't directly involved and he knew what was going on is hard as hell. They will charge him with obstruction of justice, conspiracy against America, and he'll be lucky if they don't charge him with treason. Because he is just that. He is a traitor.
Can they do all of that while he's a sitting president?
You can indict a sitting president.
Now, I've been told you couldn't do that, but I don't know.
There's another thing that says you can't indict a sitting president. Is the president above the law?
Well, he shouldn't be.
Exactly.
No man or woman should be above the law.
Exactly.
I don't give a damn what your position is.
He has stacked the courts with his judges, especially the Supreme Court. And that's going to be a constitutional crisis. Because if they rule that he is above, that's why Bob Mueller is taking so long. Well, he's not taking so long because he wants to. If the House flips, he will take down Trump and Michael Pence at the same time. And guess who will be the president?
Ryan.
No, Nancy Pelosi. Once you flip the House back, Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House.
If she becomes a Speaker again, you're right. You're right. Well, do you think she will be voted the Speaker again?
Oh, hell yeah. You got
some people don't like her, even some Democrats.
Okay, some people didn't like Obama. Some people didn't like Hitler. Some people didn't like look. Some people do not mean a majority.
Well, yeah.
Some people don't like me. I find that hard to believe, but some
I think you only have one person that likes you, and that's That's Carol. She even has a intimate name. She calls you Alfie. So you have one person that loves you, and she talks about you all the time. So you have one friend.
I got 17 great grandbabies.
Yeah, but they don't love you. They think you are the terrorizer.
Say they Bill Withers. They're doing the Bill Withers to me. How they using me up?
Exactly. Your grandchildren see you coming, they go, "Oh shit, here he come again."
Oh, that's my grandchildren, because they know I don't cut them no slack.
Right.
No.
You're a terrorizer.
And now that they're growing up and they see, they all coming back around to me going, "You were right, granddaddy."
Oh boy, that's funny. Well, I just don't know where we're gonna go next with this whole Trump fiasco. I just want it to end. I just want it all to end.
We may even be able to flip the Senate.
I think that's feasible. If people wake up and get out and vote.
If we could take Nevada and Arizona.
Yep. I know
And
Nevada
there's another one
is
in
a
there.
push. Arizona is going to be a push. But what people have to understand, when the Republicans become desperate, and I saw one news article where Republicans have spent, was it 9.1 or 8.1 million in one race, and it's close. So Ryan is losing his mind. He's jumping up and down. You don't know what to do next. You know, their idea is to throw a lot of money at it and we can win it with all the special interest groups and all those crazy people. That's one of the major plays in their playbook, in the Republican playbook.
Their PR campaign is so huge that they will win the perception of stupid people. How does the saying go? Rumors are started by haters or something. Something.
I don't know. I think you're making that one up.
No.
You can make it up your own truth now.
We don't make nothing up. Marijuana destroyed my mind long time ago.
Okay. All right.
He should call in when Wallace is on.
Say what?
He should call in when Wallace is on.
Oh, Wallace.
He talks about
Mondays with Wallace.
all the bad things about weed.
He has a cannabis show. He has a conservative position on it. He's a pharmacist, so he's kind of anti, marijuana. But
they won't be able to sell the pills anymore.
Lots and lots and lots of people are using it, and the stigma or the perception by some is that you are a loser if you smoke weed. I totally push back on that, because there are some leaders in society that smoke as much weed as the cat down on the corner. Some of the head.
He smoked it.
Well, yeah, he did. Most of us did coming along during that period.
You smoke weed, Carol?
I don't.
No, here we go. I don't really do it, but every now and then.
But
you don't smoke that much,
but you do.
No,
I smoke weed like a chimney. I haven't smoked weed in going on 20 years.
I don't smoke weed that often, but I do when I'm down. It helps me.
Yeah. So there are all kind of proven benefits of cannabis, whether you smoke it or use the oils for pain relief or whatever.
It's relaxing, like when you're having sex. It's very relaxing. It helps.
Relaxing when you're having sex.
Yeah.
Really? It loosens you up?
Don't do
It
that.
does.
Yeah, okay, well, that's
Don't
good.
do
See?
that, Carol.
I'm not trying to be dirty or nothing. I'm just saying different.
No, I'm not about doing dirty. You're being over the top.
No, I'm not being over the top. I mean, we all are adults, and
I think you're saying that's TMI, too much information.
Yeah, TMI.
I don't think it's too much.
And that just kicks
What's
the door open for
in
me.
a person, you go home and they go, "You want to come in for a while and have a drink?"
Yeah,
now,
well, Carol, that kicks the door open for me.
Is that TMI?
Well, no, it's not TMI. It's just,
Carol, I say, when Lee said TMI, when Lee says it's TMI,
get you warmed up.
Yeah,
it's like you kick the door open, Carol.
You'll be
You
ready.
kick the door open, Carol.
You'll be
Because
ready.
my next statement
You'll
would
be ready, baby. You'll be running around that house.
my next statement to you would be, when was the last time you had sex?
Oh, don't be fooled, sweetie.
She opened up Pandora's
Stop
box
it,
now.
Carol.
Inquiry
Just
minds
stop it.
want to know.
Don't be fooled.
Just stop it, Carol. Just stop.
You're-
I don't have
she
to
is
get
something.
nothing up. I heard a song yesterday on the radio station, Josefa, the 10, what is it, 47, the one.
1047?
Yeah, and it was a kid singing about a guy singing about how he loves this older woman.
Mm-hmm.
And he was actually basically telling a story. He was like, even though you're older, I don't care what people, is that a new song? Because isn't that an oldies station?
Yeah, it is.
I never heard the song, but I was in the
Who was
car
it
and I'm
by?
like, I don't know.
Now,
I
give
was
me the
sitting
lyrics
in the
again.
car listening to it, and he was talking about he dates an older woman and how much he likes her, and he doesn't care if she's older.
What the hell is
I
that?
was listening to it. I go, who is this person? Because see, I have a song I want to write with somebody. You can look me up. I do write. And I thought about a song. I do have songs.
Yeah?
They just haven't made me any money.
Okay.
Because if I could get a younger person to sing this one song, I could make money.
Okay. Well, there's a bunch of singers out there that need some good lyrics.
But I've been thinking about a song because when I went to the store, and there was this lady behind me, and she had just one thing, and I said, and I wasn't looking at her age or nothing. I just seen one thing. I said, you can go ahead of me. And she said, I don't have nothing to do. I said, well, you can still go ahead. She said, I told you I have nothing to do. She said, I'm 85 years old. My kids
Really?
don't come by. I'm
Okay.
I'm invisible to them. And I thought
Yeah.
about it. I said, you know what? It don't matter. As you start getting older and your kids are a certain age, if you ain't living with them, that you do become invisible. And I think it would make a great song. Just listening to that song yesterday, I said, now that's a young guy singing this song about dating an older person. But to listen to this woman that day, it was kind of sad to me. And I thought about it after I got into the car. I thought, now why didn't I say, hey, take my number, let's go to a movie together?
Yeah.
And I really wanted to slap myself for not doing that, because anybody gets lonely. I get lonely because my kids don't come over.
Yeah, but you got them cats.
Well, that's true, but it is
You got
nice
three
to have.
boyfriends.
Yeah, you
Well,
got three
one
boyfriends.
no
already.
longer exists. I'm telling you, he's in love with my roommate. I
He's
don't
just- he's
exist
just a
to.
new kid
I
on the
no,
block.
I don't exist to little man. He knows when he comes in. He starts crying. I let him out. He goes in there with him, and the first thing he does, he humps him.
Well, that's
Something
his
to
problem.
please.
But see, that could mean
That's his problem.
dominance when you think
Little
about
man
it.
is a sexual assaulter.
Hey, as long as they're not stopped. He's going to video it, and I'm going to. People don't believe me when I say this because cats don't do this.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not normal for a cat. But
Yeah.
The
but
Monday
getting back
Night
to this
Show.
woman, I realized it don't matter what age you are, you can be lonely.
Oh, absolutely.
I talked to
Oh,
a
I'm
friend of
lonely all
mine
the time.
yesterday. I said, "Do you ever get lonely?" She said, "All the time." And see, I work, and I think about people when they quit working. That would be horrible. You know, to just be a person that you can't work and you don't have nobody living with you. And
Yeah.
That's paradise.
do you ever get lonely, Lee?
Yeah, I do. From time to time.
Call me.
Call me.
Or she drug you out and set you
Yeah,
up
see, that was a
and
setup,
hung you
wasn't
out of Jesus. Jesus, Carol. Why don't you just take a bat to the back of his head?
But see,
Come on.
I manage my loneliness by staying busy. I go out and drive.
That's what I
Yeah.
do. But lately, I'm having
Exactly.
trouble driving. I told you I'm having panic attacks.
You need a driver.
No, I got to work through this.
You're having panic attacks,
I think
Carol?
it could be coffee because remember I told you I don't
Yeah.
usually drink it.
Yeah.
And 1 cup has now went to 2 cups a week.
Well, yeah.
Go to
And see,
decaf.
they've told me not to drink coffee because I'm very hyperactive.
Right.
And the caffeine, I think, does something to me. It makes me nervous.
All right, I'm about
Either
to play
go
this,
to-
this video.
Either go to decaf or go to marijuana, one of the two.
Right.
I don't even know if I could drive on marijuana.
Well, that's when
Oh,
you call it
come on.
Uber. Here we go. I'm going to play this video of this guy who thinks that white people should rule the world and all minorities should,
Oh, I
should
think
not
I
be
heard.
around.
Was that yesterday, day before?
I don't know.
Isn't
when
he
it
a
came out.
politician?
No, he's a fool. But here we go.
End of the day, the beliefs that they have are indistinguishable from the Klan and from any kind of white supremacist.
Who is Jared Taylor?
Jared Taylor is the most important white nationalist operating right now. He runs a group called American Renaissance, holds annual conferences that bring extremists from all over the place to Tennessee, for the most part, to talk about why white people are superior to black people and brown people. That's his whole thing.
Mr. Taylor, how are you? Nice to meet you. Good to meet you. Thanks so much for allowing us to come in. Thank you.
My pleasure. All around the world, wherever you look, if you see conflict, people diligently slitting each other's throats, whether it's in the Middle East, whether it's in Africa, it's because of diversity. Diversity of ethnicity, of language, of religion, but primarily of race.
So you want to live in a white-only country?
Not necessarily white only, but a country that is clearly based on a European model in which whites will basically remain the overwhelming majority in perpetuity.
Okay, how do you achieve that?
Well, that's an excellent question. Donald Trump has got some first good steps in mind. He wants to make sure no more illegal immigrants come into the country, and he wants to make sure that all illegal immigrants here go back. He wants to end birthright citizenship. He wants to put at least a temporary ban on Muslim immigration.
What happens with Asians? What happens with African Americans? What happens with Latinos?
What happens to my
You presented
people,
me with a very limited view of the United States.
You're saying the United States is a place anybody can come and turn it into anything you want, and the people who built this country and established its institutions, if they glimmer away, so what? You are promoting a process that will reduce my people to a minority. You want more power for Latinos. That comes at the expense of my people's power.
We're 17% of the population,
Right.
and we only have 3 senators. So therefore, we don't have the political representation that we deserve.
And you want more and more and more.
Of course, because we only
How
have 3
much?
senators.
How much political?
At this point, 14 senators.
And 50 years from now, how many would you like?
Let's talk about 50 years from now. In 2044,
Yes.
white non-Hispanics will become a minority.
Yes.
Is that what you're afraid of?
Mr. Ramos, it's fantastic for you, for my people to lose power and become a minority. That's fantastic for you. How does it feel for
Because
me?
it is our country, Mr.
Our
Taylor.
country, our
It is our country. Don't you think we both have the same rights in this country?
I think that despite this nonsense in the Declaration about anybody being anyone,
Excuse me,
the white
you
people,
don't
the white
think
people.
we are all created equal?
No, what you want to do is change this country into an entire nation in which white people will become refugees in their own land
So you don't-
if your vision comes through.
You don't want to
true.
live alongside Mexicans.
Now, why is it wrong for me not to want my neighborhood to change?
You'll
If
be-
my neighborhood is European, if my neighborhood they don't keep chickens in the backyard that crow at 3 in the morning.
What are you
they
talking
don't,
about?
I'm
That's a
talking
complete
about
stereotype.
Mexicans.
That's a complete stereotype.
Yes, and stereotypes are all true.
It's
aren't
a racist stereotype, what you're saying.
they? Oh, racist! Give me a break.
What are you going to do with the thousands of Muslims,
We certainly
American
will.
citizens, who are serving in the military?
I'm sure that we just couldn't possibly survive with all those Muslim Navy Rangers. Yes, I'm sure that's true.
That is not right.
No, I'm talking
You
about
cannot make
Muslim,
fun of people who are saving our lives.
They want special holidays and special food in
So if
school
you don't like their
restaurants.
religion, you don't have to join them. That's fine.
Well, no, they are-
But,
wait,
but
I'm
also,
not-
but you can't discriminate against them simply
Of
because
course.
you.
Of course, anyone should have the right to discriminate against anyone he wishes. And the point is,
But not
you know,
not by
why-
the law, Mr. Taylor. You can't do that.
I think the law is absolutely incorrect.
Do you feel that whites are superior, are more intelligent than blacks?
I think, on average, whites are more intelligent than blacks, and North Asians are more intelligent than whites.
How can you
All
say
of this
that?
How can you think otherwise?
Mr. Taylor,
Why
what are you?
evidence would you have to think that a pygmy is, on average, is just as intelligent as a Dane? Why would you think that? The entire record of history is completely consistent with the assumption that black Africans are less intelligent on average than Asians or Caucasians.
That's absurd. That's repugnant and absurd.
Repugnant to you?
Yes, of course.
Why would you even entertain the possibility that on average a pygmy is as intelligent as a Japanese?
The comparison that you are trying to make, it is simply impossible because of historical circumstances, because economic conditions, because of the
More
moment.
excuses. We have to be willing to say to all those who are non-European, we wish you well, but this territory is for us. And sorry, we have the right to be us, and only we can be us.
So you want me to leave?
Under certain circumstances, yes, we would ask you to go. Unless whites are prepared to exclude people, then they will be shoved aside. That is the fate which I will fight until my last breath.
Mr. Trump, I have a question about immigration.
Okay, who's next? Yeah, please.
Your immigration plan is
Excuse
full
me,
of
sit down.
empty
You weren't
promises.
called. Sit down.
Mr. Trump, no, I'm a
Sit
reporter
down.
as an immigrant and as a
Go
U.S.
ahead.
citizen. I have the right to ask the question,
No, you
and
don't.
this is the question.
You haven't been called.
No, I have the right to ask the question.
Go back to
and
Univision.
This is the question.
Go ahead.
You cannot deport 11 million.
Go ahead.
You cannot deport 11 million people. You cannot build a 1,900-mile wall. You cannot deny citizenship to children in this country.
down,
and with
please.
those ideas,
You weren't called.
I'm a reporter and don't touch me, sir. Don't touch me, sir. You cannot touch me. I have the right to ask a question.
Yes, in order, in
I have the right to ask a question. I have the right to ask a question.
Let me see it.
It's over there.
Instead of coming out, stay out. You just got to wait your turn.
You're very rude. It's not about you.
It's not about.
Get out of my country. Get out.
This is
not about you.
I'm a U.S. citizen too.
Well, whatever. No, Univision. No, it's not about you.
It's not about you. It's about the United States.
No, it is. It's about us.
Hate is contagious. That expression of hate is something that I had never experienced before. It's something that I reported about, but never experienced it myself.
I can't wait for
Well,
everything.
welcome to America, brother. There's a Latino reporter, I think it was with Univision, and he had hell dealt to him by the President of the United States and this racist jackass. It's despicable.
Well, Lee, here's the problem. When the guys start talking about the history, and he don't know the history, and he misquotes the history, the interviewer, the Hispanic interviewer, didn't know the history. Because he should have asked him, had he ever heard of the Moors? Moors ruled Europe for 700 years. They taught him how to bathe. They taught him how to change clothes. They taught the entire cradle of civilization to move forward.
Well, yeah, but he would easily pivot from that and say, well, this is America, and I don't give a damn about that.
He can pivot wherever the hell he wants. Because the same is true here. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans built this country. So when he's talking about this is my country, he's a lie. It's based on a lie. And as long as you continue to accept his narrative based on a lie, he will always be able to make it.
Well, that's what you're dealing with. It's a mindset like that. And he's a Trump supporter. He thinks that Trump is doing everything right. And, you know, when the reporter kept saying, but that you can't do that, it's illegal. And he says, well, the law is wrong. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What that means is we're going to continue to vote people in that think like us so that we can change the laws.
Exactly.
And that's the movement that Trump has. He's the drum major for that.
And the guy who threw the Univision reporter out, did you hear what he said?
Yeah. Yeah. What is it?
Okay, but that's Trump's personal bodyguard.
Exactly. Yeah, it wasn't Secret Service.
No, it wasn't. And when you get to that point where the American people and the opposing party, air quote, Democrats, they don't see the opportunity here. There is low-hanging fruit falling to the ground and rotting on this president. He has got so many flaws. Look at this tariff thing he's put out there to distract and confuse, and the stock market tanked. He wasn't talking about how well the stock market is doing and the economy is doing. And the media has accepted what he has said as if he has never told a lie, as if he's got credibility.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't think
It's
I
crazy
can go no more.
what we're experiencing. It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand how it's going on. I don't know why people don't see through the obvious.
You know why people don't see through
Let
the
me
obvious?
retract. Let me back that statement up. I do understand because they are like mine, like this fool we just heard. Those are the only people that think that way.
Not the only ones.
No, you got to be hate-filled and a racist to think that way. Because that's exactly what he was speaking about, being racist. And he doesn't think it's wrong.
That's entitlement.
That too.
He believes he's entitled to this land that they've stolen, butchered, murdered,
This
raped
is our land.
to obtain.
Exactly. This is our land.
This
I can't.
meme about
It's disgusting
It is disgusting.
to be so filled with so much hate. It just makes you sick.
I agree. But what I don't feel is disgusting is the pushback against it. I don't believe that to paint with a broad brush about the sickening atmosphere, the environment of bigotry and people who fight against bigotry. They might as well be saying it's hatred on both sides. Well, the people on the side that I'm on didn't start hating the people who have been perpetrating the crimes. We're simply fighting back.
Yeah. It's nuts, man. I just, in my lifetime, I never thought I'd witness this. And
that's because you didn't know.
Yeah, well, you don't know what you don't know. And these are the kind of things that pop up that you can't even anticipate stuff like this. Although it's been a major lesson.
What are you opening up?
I think to most people. What are you talking about?
You don't hear him opening.
I got a battery. I got a new battery for my computer.
Oh, okay. Isn't that? I heard you opening it.
And it did. You thought it was a bag of chips. You thought it was a bag of chips.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Well, I wish like hell it
you
was.
shouldn't be eating. I'm sure.
Yeah, I wish like hell it was a bag of chips.
That's the truth. I love chips. That's one of my my weaknesses. Potato chips and French fries.
You got no idea. You got no idea.
And brownies with walnuts. Warmed up with vanilla ice cream.
How was that brownie at Green Peas?
That was pretty good. That was not bad. I did need some ice cream on it, but I didn't want to go that far. Trying to be a good boy. And resist the temptation. See, that was a good example of pushback. I didn't go all the way. I just had the brownie with walnuts. Didn't get the ice cream on top.
That wasn't pushback.
That was pushback for me, bro.
That was bovine. That was bovine.
That was major pushback for me. Because I
You know what that's
love
like,
me
Lee?
a warm brownie
That's like me
with ice
saying
cream on it.
I ate the large rib tip dinner and I left a few fries.
No, that's not the same.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, folks, I don't know what we're going to do at this point except turn out to vote. One of our talk show hosts here, Wallace Peoples, has a show that talks about cannabis every Monday at 3 o'clock. And he had his daughter on who's in college in Ohio. And it was an interesting conversation. He's not for the use of cannabis. His daughter has occasionally used it. And the whole thing is, what I heard in that show, and you can go back and watch it. It's on our Facebook page. It's one of those situations where times are moving forward. More and more states are making it legal in the state. And I think at some point, when it gets about 25 or 30 states, then the federal government will have no choice but to embrace it and get involved and put a federal tax on it. It's going to cost more, but at least it'll be regulated. It'll be safer, and it's going to, generate a lot of money for the states and for the federal government, just like alcohol did. Alcohol is heavily taxed. Gasoline is. Cigarettes. Most of the things that we buy and use have some level of tax on them.
No.
So the reality is, embrace the benefits, make it safer, and let people use it who want to use it. Now, I'm not going to smoke no dope anymore. I did in my teens and when I was in my 20s. I smoked some marijuana. No, I absolutely did. Most people coming up during that time, during the hippie era, that was the thing of choice. Some wine and a couple of, joints, and you were good. I never did it in school. Anything like that, but on the weekends, go to parties. I had a roommate that was a cop. He used to go raid houses and bring the smoke and the alcohol. He'd go bust the bootleg place and bring all the booze to the house if we'd have a party.
Well, Lee, I sent you and Carol a reason why hemp and marijuana are illegal.
Why?
And what was behind why it's illegal?
Okay, give us the 10-second reason why.
It's called All About Hemp, and I put it on your Facebook page, and we're out of time, and we can discuss it tomorrow.
Okay, we'll pick up. That'll be our first topic tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. here on the Power of Voices YouTube and Facebook. We'll see you then. The Lee Michaels Show with Carol. If she don't come in here fussing with me again, but you know what? I'm gonna put that red ball and the duct tape on her. She just shot me the finger. Thank you, Carol. I love you too. See you tomorrow right here on thepowerofvoices.com. Have a good day. Be safe. Be kind. And don't pay attention to the bovine. Register to vote. Get out on November 6, 2018. That's this year.